Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Tuesday the 12th of May and I've got a lot to catch up on because I haven't done a video in a couple of days. I've been having a little bit of time off. Everybody needs a bit of downtime, but let's get on with it, shall we? So apparently they are now living in the Beverly Hills mansion that's a staggering £200,000 a month. But of course we know that they're not probably paying that amount because they are the people that like to mooch off everybody else. It's a £14.5 million mansion that's owned by Tyler Perry. Now, if you don't know who Tyler Perry is, big connections with Oprah. In fact, Oprah is a godmother to one of his children. This happened when apparently Tyler Perry felt sorry after seeing or hearing about Meghan complaining on the African documentary. You remember the one? Oh, but I just wanted to be fair. I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. Well, it looks like they're thriving now because this is a monstrosity of a mansion that they are moving in. Not only that, they're not just content with just squatting. They are improving the security. Yes, that's right. They're doing the same that they did in Vancouver, if they were ever there, to Tyler Perry's mansion that they're now staying at. Now, this is a 24,000 square foot, 8-bedroomed home, and it's known for its absolute privacy. Can't be that private for them anyway, because they are now building a fortress around the perimeter of the mansion. I refuse to say home because it's not a home. Who needs 8 bedrooms for just 3 of them? It's absurd. The thing that gets me really is that Harry is so eco-conscious and he really does preach to us about how we need to be ecologically minded. Yet he's quite happy to stay in a monstrosity of a house when there's just 3 of them. I'm sorry, I forgot. You must have the nanny, the governess, the security, the cook, and probably Doria as well. Forgot all about them moochers, didn't I? Over the last week, I have been hit so hard across all social media platforms, and it's quite shocking the shift that suddenly happened. I can't work out what on earth is going on. My only thought is that it all started with Archie's birthday. As soon as that video came out, the whole world went mad in the divide against the anti-Meghan Markles and the pro-Meghan Markles. Now, I'm not one to go gung-ho and really hone my point across when it comes to social media. I just like to come on here and just talk about it. I think I'm pretty fair and balanced, but do you know what? I think it's time that the gloves come off. I've had it now. I really, really have. I am just going to say it as I see it. These two are constantly mooching off other people's. They are multi-millionaires in their own right. How on earth, as 30-something, knocking on 40-year-old adults, they think it's acceptable to just mooch off other people? Do they not know how to pay their own way? Everybody goes on and on of them wanting to be financially independent. This is not financial independence at all. Financial independence is standing on your own 2 feet, paying your own bills, paying your mortgage, doing everything for yourself, not relying on friends. That in itself is immature and lacks gusto. You want to be taken seriously. Act like a serious adult. Stop the victim status. Stop the assault on the PR. The amount of times we have seen these two in the press over the past couple of weeks. I thought they wanted privacy. Harry again has been at it on his old basement video call. Honestly, seriously, he looks like he's in a basement when he's doing these videos. He's done it again. He's been on the One Show, which is a popular evening show Monday to Friday in the UK. It's a bit insipid, it's a bit blasé, a bit vanilla. He was on there talking about the families of the World War II survivors who suffered horrific burns in the battle. And that was on the One Show last night. A video has also been shared with those attending the On-Side Awards. Now, Harry praised attendees for surviving, but also thriving during the coronavirus crisis. He said, hats off to every single one of you surviving but also thriving. I mean, come on, write your own stuff, mate. But the one thing I can't understand is that the majority of these videos that are released, we had one in March, April, May, and we've had another one now at the end of or middle of May. They all have the same background. So they've been in whatever property they are in now for all this time, since March. So either these video messages were pre-recorded before they moved, highly unlikely, or they have been mooching off Tyler Perry for over 2 months. Now, the security fences are going up, I think, because they've been found out where they are. They're probably laughing their heads off thinking, they can't find us. Well, you've been found now, so what are you going to do? And it seems that the neighbours are also getting restless and speaking to the media, because a neighbour who owns a house just a stone's throw away from this property said, we've had helicopters all over the house since 5:30 a.m. This goes on for much longer. Harry and Meghan may have some angry neighbours. Now, this neighbour also said there are no homes above or overlooking it. There is a guarded gate to the community, and then Tyler's estate has a gate of its own at the start of the long driveway leading up to his home. It's so private, I didn't even know that Harry and Meghan had moved in until the helicopters started to arrive. I expect it's a bit of a media scrum. Wherever they go, they're going to get this. Surely they should know. By courting the media in such a grand way in which they have, they are fair game. And because they are not under the umbrella of the British royal family anymore, it's even more fair game, isn't it? Because they don't get the protection. So they are going to get hounded. But rumour has it, it's just a rumour, don't, shoot the messenger, that they're checking out homes of up to $18 million. With 5 bedrooms and a $13 million mid-century home with a full-service roof deck, and also a $17 million 6-bedroom home with a 800-gallon aquarium. Oh, well, that's thriving, isn't it? I would love to know where they're getting this money from to buy this humongous property, because let's face it, Harry is roughly worth between $30 to $40 million, but the majority of that is actually put in trust. He doesn't have a huge amount of capital to put his hands on, and Meghan certainly didn't earn that amount of money. Don't get me wrong, she was an earning actress and she did bring a sizable amount to the table too, but how on earth have they found $17 million to buy a property? I can only suggest, and this is only a suggestion, is that Charles is paying for this. What 40-year-old gets their dad to buy them a house? Come on, mate. We've got a man up now. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to adult. Please. It's looking pathetic now. What gets me as well is that they're doing all of this in a pandemic while everybody's lives are suffering and people are being laid off and they can't earn money. They want to go out and show the public exactly how much they've got or how much Charles has got and completely flex it to the max. My one hope is that they pay for Frogmore before they buy any property in LA. But we know that that's not going to happen because it was only their wish to repay. That house has never and will never be repaid by Harry and Meghan. They just don't see it in their remit because they've moved on now. I don't think they will ever pay for Frogmore. We, the taxpayer, the great British public, will have to stump up that cash or have stumped up that cash. Interesting though, tax figures should be coming out relatively soon. We should know if anything else was paid for Frogmore, because if you remember, the last £2.4 million was just an half, because we have the tax year from April to April. So because only half of the work was done prior to April the 1st last year, then the rest of the refurbishment fees will also be included in the next tax year, as in the tax year that's just come. So it'll be interesting to see how much more Frogmore Cottage cost us, the taxpayer. I'm betting another probably $500,000. But I always say it as I see it. This article about them house hunting and looking at these 3 properties came from Cosmopolitan. Now, Cosmopolitan is a pro-Meghan magazine. So this could very well be just her PR being pushed out, going, yeah, well, they're looking at this house and they're looking at that house because everything's fine, yeah, it's fine. It's all PR, it's all buzz. It's to make us think that life there is rosy and light. I don't think it is, really. Can you imagine the conversations that are going on at the moment because of this pandemic has massively cut down their financial aspirations? Nobody is going to be giving them any large amounts of money that they can siphon off through their foundation for their upkeep. But can you imagine the conversations? I would love to be a fly on the wall when they're talking about money. It's he has it, he can get a load of it, she wants it. How on earth does that happen? When will this man wake up and see the writing on the wall? Do you think he's ever in regret yet? Harry has been raised in a world where money is no object. He has never had to budget at all. Money was always available to him whenever he needed it. But now he has made it so public that he wants to stand on his own 2 feet and protect his family. Anything he does is going to be met with quite a big amount of criticism, because you can't stand up and make this big declaration without having anything to back it up with. And that's effectively what's happened at the moment. They seem disingenuous, they seem ill-prepared, and they seem like they're being extremely immature. You know, they can't make money by doing these planned speaking engagements and appearances that they probably had planned in doing, because nobody is going to be doing it right now with social distancing, and there's no amount of money out there to pay for 2 ex-royals to speak at an event because there is no events happening. But, you know, bills do have to be paid. So I would suspect that they are relying on Charles to do that. And again, that just sticks in my throat. My God, if I went across to my dad and said, Dad, will you pay my mortgage for me? No, I'd get, sorry, love, you're 43 years old. Pay it yourself. And do you know why that is? Because I'm an adult. Poor Harry, bless him, he's had to flog his hunting guns as well. Apparently, he flogged them for $90,000, and we all know why he sold them. He either needs the money, well, they do really, or Meghan told him to, because she doesn't like hunting. That has been well documented. She really didn't like him hunting. So he has had to sell his beloved hunting rifles, which were a gift from Prince Philip. So, you know, she's literally changed everything about this man, and I don't feel pity for him anymore. I used to say I feel quite sorry for him because he is clearly a victim of a narcissist, but now I think he's just as culpable. It is what it is, isn't it? He is an enabler to her needs. He doesn't do anything to help himself. He is demanding privacy, yet plastering his son all over social media because that's what they do. And yet he's appearing more than he did when he was a royal, a working royal. He's all over the place. The amount of videos that he's done, 4 in the past couple of months. And it just goes to show you that sincerity means absolutely nothing when you don't follow your wishes through. And what they're doing now is they're seeming disingenuous. And what reputable business will work with people that just flip-flop everywhere? I think that their financial capabilities are now extremely limited because the world is changing. And after this pandemic, the world will not be the same. People will not have the amount of money to spend frivolously on whatever they like. So I think they're going to have a massive issue with raising the amount of funds that they need to live their lavish lifestyle. So I would love to know your thoughts. What do you think of them staying at Tyler Perry's $1 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills, Hidden Hills? Have they been staying there all along? Does the video evidence of those 4 videos in exactly the same position cement that they have been there since mid-March? And if they have, what on earth are they playing at? Come on, mooching off your friends. What about them putting the security all around this property? Why now? If they've been there since mid-March, why all of a sudden is the gates and the security improving and getting like a fortress? Do you believe the Cosmopolitan article that says that they are checking out Hollywood homes and that are in the region of between $13 and $17 million? Have they got that amount of money to splash? And if so, where are they getting that amount of money? And poor old has-been, what about him having to sell his guns? My heart bleeds for you, sunshine. As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.